Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about a topic close to my heart, which is growing up with a single mom. I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get started. So I personally noticed that when you search a topic like growing up with a single mom, a lot of videos that come up are leaning towards like the negative side, like effects of growing up with a single mom, how growing up with a single parent affected my relationships, trusting people, daddy issues, and all that stuff, which, in their own experience and in their own right, the people who are writing, I understand that's where they're coming from, but I don't want to dwell on the negative, because I realized and noticed that if you dwell on the negative, it takes over your thinking. I want to share a brief video with you. It's a TED talk from a little girl that really stood out to me, and I hope when you hear it, it also stands out to you.
Hello, my name is Valeria, and I am the child of a single mom. Growing up without a father isn't easy, but when you think about it, if I hadn't experienced it, I wouldn't be here today. When I was a small child, about 3 or 4 years old, I did not know what the word dad meant, literally. Well, how could I? My whole life, I only had one parental figure, my mom. And it wasn't weird for me, it was normal, just the way things were. As I grew older, I noticed that I was different from my other friends. Every year on Father's Day, all of the kids showed up with their dads, and I showed up with my grandpa and my mom. I love my grandfather and always appreciate him always being there for me. But on the inside, Father's Day at school was really embarrassing and stressful. As I continued to grow older, I started noticing differences that were more and more obvious. So obviously, I got curious and I started asking questions. Mom, where's my dad? Mom, why doesn't my dad ever come see me? Mom, when can I meet my dad? Not getting the answers I expected made me really angry and confused. I was just so angry at the fact that this guy that was supposed to be my dad wasn't around, and confused as to why I hadn't met him. I insisted so much that my mom sat me down one day and explained what had happened. She told me that my biological father had left my mother while she was still pregnant. When I was born, he saw me a couple of times and then disappeared completely when I was 6 months old. He never called me. Not on Christmas, not on my birthday, not ever. Knowing what happened helped me understand, but it didn't make the feelings of being overwhelmed, confused, and angry go away. Fortunately, I've learned the tools that have helped me overcome this and be a happy kid. And now I want to share this with you. I want to share this with other kids in the world who have it worse than me. Because there are kids that, because of this, have self esteem issues, that feel abandoned, that feel lonely, or even guilty. This is my 3-step formula. Number 1, learn to recognize your own value. Define yourself based upon who you are. Don't let other people create a false image for you. Don't compare yourself to others, because there is always going to be someone that is in a better situation than you and someone that is in a worse situation than you. Take pride in your unique qualities, because those are the ones that make you worthy and special. For example, I love Christmas. I love my family and friends. I miss my family and friends in Venezuela, but I love my new friends here. Now, if you're going to take away something from this talk, let it be this. How others treat you is about them and not about you or anything you did. When someone is irresponsible, it is because of their own fears or personal trauma. It's not about you, remember that. So don't feel guilty, because it's not your fault. Number 2, gratitude. This is something that has been reinforced in my house and has taught me not to take anything for granted. Always appreciate the small things in your everyday life, because life is made of these small things. A 2010 study published in the Clinical Psychology Review reveals that gratitude reduces the presence of toxic emotions like resentment and envy. Get this, By being grateful, you get to feel less envious towards other people, and you get to hold less resentments towards others. Number 3, forgiveness. This has been the step that has been the biggest and hardest for me to follow. I realized that you can't hold a grudge on someone for your whole life. You have to let go. The more I forgive, the less power this issue has over my life. What we all need to understand is that forgiveness is not about the other person or making the problem smaller. Not about saying, oh, it's okay, what you did doesn't matter anymore. Forgiveness is 100% about you. It's about letting go of the anger, sadness, and pain. It's about finding inner peace and not allowing people's actions to have power over your life. Another thing that I learned at home is that it's not important what happens to you, but how you react to it. So, for example, if life gives you lemons, you can either cry about it and sit and blame all your problems on that because you wanted cherries, or you can take those lemons, bake the best lemon pie in the whole world, eat it, and be grateful that you got lemons because before you didn't even know lemon pie existed, and now you love it. By accepting your reality in the best way possible, you get to discover a whole new world of possibilities and opportunities for a happy life. What happened in the past came to teach you a lesson, not to burden you. So take that lesson, let it make you stronger, and focus on the good, on your dreams, on your aspirations. Remember this, you choose if the glass is half empty or half full. Thank you.
So I grew up with my mom. Being a single mom, it's all I've known, so it's my normal. I don't find myself strange or weird or awkward. Obviously, I must admit, at some point growing up, people will say things and ask you questions that make you think, am I weird? But to me, it's all I've ever known, and it's my normal. And people will ask you, oh, do you miss having a dad? In all honesty, no. I will say no, because how I grew up was my normal. It's how I grew up. And even on days like Father's Day, when I was in school, like boarding school, I would call my mom and say Happy Father's Day. Like, it was normal to us, and we'll have this whole conversation. Obviously, at first, everyone talking about their fathers and going to all their fathers, it does get to you. But I chose to see the positive side of it, to know that I have someone who is there for me, who took on both roles, and that's how I saw her as, and that was our day. So she got to celebrate both days, Father's Day and Mother's Day. One of the positives I would say about growing up with a single mom is it makes you independent. It makes you see that people work hard for what they earn, and she's worked hard for everything that she has, and makes you appreciate her or him, for those who have single dads. And also, I would say, don't compare yourself to other people. That's the cause and the root of everything. If you say, oh my god, I wish I had 2 parents, and it gets to you and you start breeding that feeling inside of you, and inevitably you will be sad. So I would just say, like the girl said, look at the glass as half full instead of half empty. Don't compare yourself to others. It's all about you. You can make the decision to be happy. You can make the decision to be contented. It's not about you. Their decision to leave or abandon you is not anything to do with you. It's about them. So you should always remember that. And feelings of abandonment, of being lost, of being confused, they are all normal, but don't dwell on it. Don't put all your energies on it, because if you do, that is all you'll be able to think about. And you know what? Things always get better. And appreciate the journey. I don't sit down now and dwell on the past like, oh my god, this happened when I was 4. No, it happened. My mom always says, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So get up, dust yourself off. You'll be hurt, you'll be frustrated, but at the end of the day you'll be stronger, and that's all that matters. And you'll look back and say, oh my god, I actually overcame that scenario or that heartbreak or that obstacle in my life. I remember, I think a lot of you know her and you watched her audition on America's Got Talent when she said you don't have to wait for things to get better for you to be happy, something like that.
You can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy.
I remember someone told me you look like you've had such an easy life, like a princess growing up. And I thought to myself, like, am I supposed to look like, oh, all I've had is problems in my life? No. And the next thing is forgiveness. Forgive the person, and if you don't forgive the person, then you'll never get past that. You always have so much anger, and everything else will be affected in the future. So forgive the past one and let it go. And also that goes back to, it's not about you. It was never about you. It's never your fault. Don't blame yourself. Forgive the person and everything else will fall in place. You will be lighter. You'll feel yourself getting lighter because you will let that anger, that heaviness in your heart go. And have an open relationship with your child. Talk to them, be open, and that's how you'll know what's actually happening in their lives, and encourage them, love them. You might not have the time because you're working, you're this and that, but the time that you spend with them, let them know that they're special to you, let them know that they're loved, let them know that they're beautiful, and they will actually never forget those small things that you do with them and you say to them. So we've come to the end of this video. I hope this video was helpful. Remember, always appreciate where you are. You first appreciate where you are, and then you know where you're going. So if you appreciate the small little strides you've taken today, you know that you're on the right track. You know that little by little you're making a difference. And even if things are hard now, tomorrow is a different day. Things can always get better. Don't lose hope. Always be encouraged. Hit the thumbs up to show that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.